What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Stay Locked In podcast. If you somehow stumbled upon this video, go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, notification button down below for more content. I got a crazy goal of about 10,000 subscribers. If you can help me manifest my goal into a reality, I would really appreciate it. With that being said, let's get right into this video. Let's go ahead and lock the in. Alright, so boom.
All right, so let's see. What's going on with you? Is there anything anyone's talking about fights you might have coming up? I can't think. Oh, right. Errol Spence, do you have any news as to how close that fight is?
Not really. Nothing's really, set in stone or, any dates or anything thus far. But we definitely working on that fight to happen.
And what would that mean for you? Do you feel like this is the perfect time for that fight, that it really should happen now?
Yes, I do believe this is the perfect time, being that it's for all the marbles, it's for undisputed, so this is a big moment for not only myself but for Errol Spence Jr. as well, to make, history in his own right.
All right, let's get right into this video. Shout out to Terrence Crawford, man, by not ducking and dodging, no questions. He just recently had an interview with Showtime. It seems to be a predated and previously recorded interview that they just released. So to me, that's a sign that this fight is close to happening. I don't want to say or speak on it yet until it's actually officially announced and the names on the dotted line are signed. But all signs point toward a Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford fight, possibly at the end of the year. Nobody's more excited for this fight than me. I've been waiting for this fight for a long time happening, and wherever it's at, I'm trying to make my way to the fight. But yeah, during this interview, he seemed to address a lot of things as far as him and Errol Spence and where they think this fight is gonna happen, or not necessarily where, but if the fight is gonna happen or not. And he said that they've made no progress, or nothing is official as of yet. They are working towards making this fight happen. They're probably just ironing out the details. There was a report probably about a few weeks back that Terrence Crawford declined an offer from Errol Spence to fight in the Texas stadium, the Dallas stadium, where he's normally and accustomed to fighting. And at the time, I didn't really think it was the best thing, but in hindsight, I think that was the smartest thing for Terrence Crawford, and I respect him for that. I think they do need to go somewhere neutral, possibly Las Vegas. You know what I mean? I mean, this is possibly the biggest fight in boxing today, so they have to go somewhere neutral where they can maximize the potential of the fight. Now, granted, Errol Spence is doing football stadiums, but listen, man, they got to be on neutral ground, neutral playing field, and I don't blame Terrence Crawford for that. I think this fight it has to happen. It has to happen. There's no other fight in boxing. This is potentially Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, or Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler of the modern day. This has to happen. It has to happen. I don't see it not happening. I don't understand what's the obstacles and what are the details that they are ironing out? We don't have really any inside information. But like I said, Terrence Crawford, he feels that the fight should happen. He gave Errol Spence his props. There was no shade or nothing like that. Especially with his last fight being against Dennis Ugas. And also with that fight, Errol Spence called Terrence Crawford out. So now we got these two fighters finally speaking each other's name and calling each other out. And I just think it has to happen. The boxing world is clamoring for this fight. And it just has to happen at this point. Hopefully, I'm hoping and praying that we get this end of the year 2022. We got to see, man. Me personally, I'm an Errol Spence guy. I've always felt that that Errol Spence was top of the pound for pound list in his division. Now, listen, Terrence Crawford is a beast. If anything, and I'm not mad at anybody that says Terrence Crawford is at the top of the pound for pound list, because it's well deserved. He deserves to be up there. And if anything, I think Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford is 1A, 1B. That's just my personal opinion. I don't see Errol Spence as a naturally bigger dude, and he's used to the division that he's in right now. Terrence Crawford is a beast. I believe, they both fought Sean Porter. I watched both fights. I'm a big Sean Porter fan as well. There was a clean knockdown that Errol Spence had against Sean Porter. And Sean Porter is a dog. He's never going to stop. He's not going to stop. So when he fought Terrence Crawford, what I don't understand is why his father threw in the towel. To me, it seemed like Porter was, I don't want to say winning the fight, but those were some pretty close rounds. If nothing at all. To me, it seemed like he was winning most of the rounds. He was doing good against Terrence Crawford, or better than anybody that I've seen. And he got caught with a good shot and got knocked down twice. And I felt like he had plenty left in the tank. Plenty left in the tank. It wasn't like he was on noodle legs and couldn't stand up straight and was out of it. We talking about Sean Porter, man. This dog, he's a dog. So for Kenny Porter to throw that towel in, I really didn't understand that. You could, if you go back to the fight, you could see Errol Spence just kind of laughed and just took off right after the fight. He left right after the fight because the fight shouldn't have been stopped. It shouldn't have been stopped. But I'm getting into a whole rant about Sean Porter. Let's stay on topic and focus on the task at hand, man. We got to get this done. Spence Crawford, I think, is a fight for the ages, and hopefully it happens in 2022. I think Terrence Crawford is a switch hitter. I think he can go either hand. He's a beast of a fighter, tactician. But I just feel that Errol Spence, we seen what happened to Ugas's eye. This man has showed the wherewithal and the fight to bounce back. This man was in a car crash and his face was pretty much rearranged. Came back, no tune-up fight. Danny Garcia, who's a champion in his own right and one of the top elite fighters in the division. Shout out to Danny Garcia. This fight gotta happen. This is the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight of this division of this era, excuse me. Now, granted, Pacquiao, Mayweather didn't really live up to the heightened expectations, but that's a whole nother story. This is the fight. This is the fight. Errol Spence got all the belts. He got all the belts, or most of the belts. And like he told Terrence Crawford, hey man, Terrence, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt. I can't wait to see this fight happen, man. I'm hyped. I'm hyped. But that's it. You guys get down in the comment section. Let me know who you got in this fight. You going with Spence? You going with Crawford? Who you got? Who you putting your money on? And if anybody plans on being there, I will see you there, because I will be there. I promise you. Wherever it's at, I don't give a fuck if it's in. I don't care where it's at. Dubai. This is a must-see fight. So you guys let me know what you think. Let me know how I done in this video. Anything that you think I can improve on or anything like that, man. I really do appreciate the feedback. And I appreciate anybody commenting, engaging, and watching in my videos, man. I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you. With that being said, I hope everybody out there stays focused, stays prosperous, and stays locked in.